Thanks for supporting the channel by clicking the links in the description box. And thank you so much for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And now let's get into this podversation. Hello and welcome back to the Being Beautifully Honest channel. If you have not subscribed yet, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the notifications bell so you know whenever I do upload a new episode. Now let's get into this podversation. This is going to be about Vanessa Bryant. She is the widow of the famed, now Hall of Famer basketball player Kobe Bryant, who with his and her daughter tragically passed away in a helicopter crash in February of 2020. Very, very sad situation, and I can't even imagine what she and her other children and his other family have been going through, went through, and will continue to go through, because I do believe that grieving the loss of someone unexpected and tragically is something that will continue to go on. I don't believe you just get over it. So I will never be here to bash this woman. But I want to talk about a few things and just talk about the rights and wrongs of Vanessa Bryant, because she's still, a human being, imperfect. Just because she lost her husband and her daughter in a tragedy does not make her, an innocent immortal. She is mortal just like the rest of us. We all screw up and make mistakes, and it's sad because with a situation like she has experienced, to continue to hold on to grudges and things that you can't change the past, but you can definitely change your today and your tomorrow if you choose to make the actions to do so. But first, we're going to talk about the rights of, Vanessa Bryant. And this is regarding this situation with the Los Angeles County, because she is, right now involved in a lawsuit over photos that were released by some people who work there that should have never happened, period. It should have never happened. But a story in USA Today, they're talking about how her actions are going too far in this lawsuit over the grisly photos. So it says the County of Los Angeles has accused the widow of Kobe Bryant of conducting a fishing expedition that is taking first responders away from their jobs and subjecting them to harassment after she sued them and posted 4 of their names on Instagram in March. Vanessa Bryant is suing the county for negligence and invasion of privacy, accusing county sheriff and fire department employees of improperly sharing photos from a helicopter crash last year that killed 9, including Bryant's daughter and husband, the NBA legend. In response, the county is fighting back and suggested in a new court filing this week that she is going too far with a scorched earth search for information. This straightforward case with undisputed facts has turned into a fishing expedition that is taking first responders away from their jobs and subjecting them to public harassment and threats, said in a filing submitted in federal court this week by attorneys for the county. Defendants are eager to have their day in court and put an end to this. Bryant's lawsuit seeks to punish the deputy defendants and make an example of them to the community, after she said they shared graphic photos of the victims' remains without any legitimate governmental purpose. In this quest, she has asked the court to extend the cutoff date for the discovery of evidence in the case, allowing her more time to gather information and conduct witness depositions. She wants that deadline moved from August to February. But the county said there is no basis for an extension and stated there was no public dissemination of photos. The county said only government personnel and one friend saw the photographs in question, and that there is no basis for her lawsuit. Plaintiff has dedicated countless hours to meaningless discovery disputes and posting recklessly about the defendants on social media, all while taking the position that her 50 depositions cannot begin until she has every single document in the county's possession. The county's filing stated, "That is not diligence. There is no basis for modifying the scheduling order." Bryant initially filed suit last year, but amended her lawsuit in March to include the names of 4 sheriff's deputies she accuses of sharing the photos, including one who allegedly did so at a bar 2 days after the accident. She then went on Instagram to post their names and highlight them with a red box drawn around them. Plaintiff posted the deputy defendants' names online, and they were subjected to harassment and threats, said a declaration filed in court by attorney Mira Harshmal, who represents the deputies in the county. Harshmal attached an exhibit to her filing that shows online reactions to Bryant's naming the deputies, including one that said, "Pull them out of hiding like roaches they are." The county said Bryant has served 126 requests for production, and that the county defendants have completed 7 document productions containing 29,941 pages. Bryant knows that only one non-governmental individual saw accident site photographs depicting human remains. The county's filing states, because of how Bryant phrased her interrogatories, responses include names of first responders who took accident site photographs not depicting human remains, and those who shared accident site photographs with other personnel and agencies like NTSB for official purposes. Plaintiff knows there has been no public dissemination. And it just goes on and on and on. But here's the thing. The rights of Vanessa Bryant, she has every single right to be angry. She has every single right to even feel like she wants to seek revenge. But unfortunately, even though it seems like we deal with, well, not even seems like, we do deal with a lot of injustices, and a lot of shit just happens that goes by that is really not fair. But that's just kind of the way sometimes the stuff shakes out. And God knows I am a testimony to that, because I've dealt with so much crap that has been not fair, has not been because of anything that I have done. And I had to pay the price and the penalties for things that it wasn't because of my actions. And actually it was because I was trying to help people, and I still got the short end of the stick. Life just is not fair. But listening, not even listening, but just reading this, and you guys listening to what I've read, it is like she kind of needs to let this go, because I don't really know what her ultimate end goal is for this lawsuit. Is she seeking money? I don't know what her personal finances are looking like, and I know a lot of people say, oh, she's set for the rest of her life, but we really don't know that, because most of us know the more money you have, the more expenses you have, and she wasn't generating any revenue. He was. She was his wife. So I don't really know what the end game is with this situation, and I get it. She has every right to want to seek some reprimands and some sorts of punishment in this situation, but what is the end game? You're going to drag this on, and it's going to be a constant reminder, a hard, heavy, constant reminder. Sometimes for the sake of peace, you have to let things go. Listen, I have had people that have done me wrong, and I had every right to take them to court and to sue them, but I chose not to. And yes, this is my choice. And I'm not saying because this is my choice in the way I chose to do things, other people shouldn't do things the way that they choose to do it. But I'm just using this as an example. I chose not to pursue it because I did not want to continue to have to be taken there, having to go through the court, go through the discovery process, the interrogatories, the request for production. And what that means, guys, I was a legal assistant for many years ago. So that is the process when you're requesting proof to prove your case, and the other side, vice versa, can do the same thing. And sometimes that process can take months, a year, or maybe even years, depending on how long the case is or how much is involved with the case and the situations that are going on. So the interrogatories, it's asking people to answer specific questions. The request for production is document production. You're asking for documentation, proof of different things to prove your case. And then depositions, that's when you are having your attorney have the people that you want to depose, and that's having them sort of like you're in court, but you're not in court, but you have a court reporter there. Everything is documented and recorded, and these things are presented to the court as proof to prove your case before you get to an actual day in court. And that could be days in court, it could be weeks in court. All of that stuff takes up time, and it continues to take you there. So with Vanessa dragging this situation on, I mean, I just don't really know what her end game is in this. I believe she has every right to be angry and upset, has every right to want to seek some sort of reprimands, see the people who did what they did be disciplined in some way. But this, I believe, it's not even really going to suit her the way that she's thinking that it will. And hey, I mean, her Instagram is her Instagram, and if the people's information was public that she posted, she does have the right to post it. Now, can she control the actions of other people and the people going after these people and you know, either harassing or threatening them? No, she can't. But we already know that when somebody like herself does something like that, and you have a lot of people that are fans and are on your side and they feel for you, then they're going to go there, you know? So I believe that that wasn't the right thing to do. I understand it, but I don't believe that that was the right thing to do. Sometimes you do have to be the bigger person. And in order for the sake of your sanity, your health, and your peace of mind, and to be able to move forward, even though she will never forget her husband, he will always be a part of her, even if she chooses to move on in another relationship and maybe get married again. I don't believe that will ever die. You know, his body may have physically died, but spiritually, I believe he's still with her. So I'm not telling her she needs to move on from him, but in order to just move forward in peace, I just believe that she should just let this one go. But that's my opinion. I really want to know what you guys think about it. But in terms of the wrongs, continued Vanessa Bryant. Recently, Kobe Bryant, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and there was a ceremony to honor that. And so she was there to accept that honor on his behalf. I mean, of course she would be. So in her accepting and, you know, just being there for him and for this honor, she was speaking on behalf of him, and she revealed that before he passed away, he wanted to make peace with his parents. And she said a week before he died, he told her he planned to invite his parents to his Hall of Fame ceremony, even though they had not spoken in years. She says he didn't really talk about upcoming awards, but he did mention this one a week before he and Gigi passed. My husband and I were sitting at our kitchen island, and he and I had a conversation about my mother and father-in-law attending tonight's enrichment. I invited my mother and father-in-law to tonight's enrichment to thank them for bringing one of the most amazing human beings into this world. Pam and Joe, thank you for raising Kobe for being exceptional. I'm not buying that. I don't know if they really had that conversation. Maybe they did, but all of this time has gone by, and you know, I did a video last year talking about this situation, about the memorial, and just the things that I saw that disturbed me, my opinion from what I viewed. And a lot of people agree with me, some didn't. Not everyone's going to agree with me, and that's fine. But for all of this time to have gone by over some stuff, whether the stuff was worth lots of money or not, it was stuff, and he is gone and he cannot come back. And the stuff is still here, and the stuff will be here after we leave. You know, is it worth it? And so you mean to tell me he shared that with you and you did not reach out and invite them to the Hall of Fame ceremony induction? Like, that's crazy to me. How much pride and ego and whatever you have, like, you embody. That is ridiculous. I'm sorry. You could have reached out to his family. And some people may feel that they probably didn't want to come around because they were feeling bad about the way things were, and their son is now gone and there's no way they can make it right. But I said this in my video that I did last year. I said, one of their grandchildren passed away. Wouldn't it be dope of her to want to try to bring some resolve and have the parents be involved with her other children, their other grandchildren? And no, they don't have, her and his mom don't have to become best friends and they're, hanging out all the time. But to have some type of rapport and some type of open door for this relationship to be mended and healed, because it's too late for them to be able to do that with their son. That is very disturbing, okay? So Anansa Sims, she is a model and she's also a really good friend. She's best friends with Kobe Bryant's older sister. She wrote on her Instagram, a portion of what she said was, "To me, you were just my little brother who I loved being with, and basketball is what we played. You are being honored and inducted into the Hall of Fame, and for you, this was the plan all along. A dream imagined and a dream reached. I am so proud of who you are, how you lived, how you loved, and proud to call you my brother. I love and miss you, Bean, Shea." And she's also the daughter of model Beverly Johnson. Well, someone commented on that and they asked why his family wasn't there. Like, why wasn't his parents there? Why weren't his sisters there? Why weren't they at the ceremony? And she responded, his parents didn't just choose not to go to the Hall of Fame. His parents were totally disrespected at the memorial. See, I said it. I said that last year, but she reiterated it. His parents were totally disrespected at the memorial. They weren't personally invited to the Hall of Fame. I wish that his parents were told that Kobe said he wanted them there just before he passed away. I heard that mentioned in her speech last night. His parents should have been told that conversation happened. If they would have known that prior to hearing it in the Hall of Fame speech last night, I believe with all my heart that they would have attended. And I believe that would have brought them so much comfort to know that. That's what was in their son's heart and mind. My heart breaks for his parents all over again. Shea wasn't invited, so she was able to stay home with her parents and comfort them. Imagine not knowing a vital conversation like that took place just 1 week before your child passed away and not being told. Lord, continue to comfort this family. And I agree. That's some shady shit. I don't care how much people want to say and defend, this woman and say, well, she didn't have anything to do with it and that was his parents and he stopped speaking to them because they sold his memorabilia. Man, give me a freaking break with that memorabilia bullshit, because I am quite sure if Kobe could have chosen, you keep your life and forgive your family for the rift that was caused, however it was caused and whatever it was caused for, or die, he would have chosen, forgive my parents for the rift and let's move forward. Period. So when people, come with that stale argument about his parents stole his stuff, his parents sold his memorabilia, his mom wanted a bigger house, his mom was ungrateful. Listen, Kobe was naive. He got married at a young age. He did a lot of stupid stuff. I mean, we all do a lot of stupid stuff. When people try to make him out to be like he is Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. He was a human being that lost his life. He made a lot of mistakes. And I'm not even going into the other stuff that you know what I'm talking about. But, he admitted that he committed adultery against his wife. There are some things and some stories out there that this was not the only time, and there are possibly some other kids out there. I don't know how true that is, but I have heard that. But I will say one of the largest mistakes that he made was disrespecting his parents. I know that we have parents that do a lot of crappy things, okay? But our parents are not perfect. I have a dad that made a lot of horrible mistakes. I don't hate him. I may have had some distance for some time, but I still love the dude because he is my dad, and I will do what I can to help him and my mom. I would never just completely cut myself off from them And whether people believe this or not, the word of God says, honor your mother and your father, that your days may be long upon this earth. The Bible also talks about, parents, do not provoke your children unto wrath. So it goes both ways, but we all have our own responsibilities in it. And we don't get to say, well, they, provoke me to wrath, so I'm going to not honor them. You still have to do your part, period. And you can take that however you want to take it. But with Vanessa continuing to disrespect his parents and to put that out there like that, I feel that was wrong. She shouldn't have even said that in that speech. Say that to your friends. Say it to I don't know if she still talks with her mom, because her mom's supposedly suing her. And that's another story for another time. But I just don't understand why she would not reach out to his parents. When is this going to end? Maybe it won't. I don't know. But that was just horrible, and that was wrong. She has every right to feel the way she feels with regards to the images of the crash site and the dead bodies being released and being shown around by these people who were supposed to be honoring the situation, working in the situation, respecting the situation, and they chose to show pictures to people. I haven't heard any stories about them profiting from it, though. Now, if they were selling the images to, some site or some publication, then absolutely go after them financially if they benefited from it financially. But I don't know. I don't know that it should be going to the extent that it's going to right now. And so she's definitely right to feel the way that she feels, but in how she's handling it, I don't agree with it. But that's just my thoughts. You can let me know yours. And as far as this Hall of Fame speech that she gave, and her revealing that he wanted to mend the rift between his parents, and he revealed that a week before he passed away, that should have been more of an incentive for her to reach out, not just for the Hall of Fame speech, but oh my God, for the memorial. I know they had a funeral and it wasn't just the memorial. We don't know what really went down at the funeral, but I'm sorry, the way things looked at that memorial, and she didn't even acknowledge his parents at the memorial, I highly doubt that the funeral was, them coming together and loving on each other and hugging and saying, let's move on and whatever. No, because those parents would have been up on that stage, period. Whether physically with their present body standing there, or her speaking and honoring them and the cameras panning to them as she is thanking them for, giving her the opportunity to have this relationship and this marriage with this amazing man that they gave birth to and that they raised, and they gave him an amazing life. And I will reiterate that because I said it before. He had a life like a lot of people never had the ability to have, couldn't even really dream of, because they didn't even know that something, some lifestyle like that was even possible. There are children who get taken advantage of and beaten and, abused and all, just so many horrible things. He had an amazing life. And sometimes when we get so self-centered and focus on what somebody did to us, we forget how other people are struggling and suffering, and then we need to be thankful for where we are. So that's all I really want to say about that. I could go on much longer, but I really don't want to extend this any further. So I appreciate you guys listening. Let me know your thoughts. And until the next time, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm just being beautifully honest.